Hello everybody, welcome again to my channel. It has been quite some time, but here we are again, and I'm going to discuss 4 new watches to my collection. I think as of right now I have a total of 12. I have others, not including this one. I no longer have the Casio resin diver with me. No particular reason, I just, it's a great watch, but I wanted to expand Casio's catalog, so I decided to basically throw it away. I mean, I didn't, it wasn't an easy choice given it was only like $25, so it is what it is. I just wasn't wearing it as much anymore because of these other watches I'm going to talk about. That's perfectly fine. I don't get it when people have a lot of sentimentality to their watches. I mean, I like my watches, but I'm not gonna, deny that, you fall out of love with watches, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. My review about it hasn't changed. I still think it's a great watch if you want one, but for me, I just grew out of love of it. So I'm going to, expand my horizons, and here we are with the G-Shock. I know I mentioned in the video before that I wouldn't get a G-Shock, and I still wouldn't get, the really big Mud Masters. Those ones plus are like really expensive. But this $50 square that I found at Walmart, it was just too tempting of a proposition, so I picked it up and I swapped out the regular strap. The strap is fine. I mean, the watch when it comes, new is quite comfortable. But, I wanted to try modding it a little bit, so I got these bull bars from Amazon, relatively inexpensive. These lug adapters, also from Amazon, relatively inexpensive. It is on the Barton leather strap that was on my Bertucci watch earlier. My Bertucci watch is now back on its original NATO band. And yeah, I mean, it's a great watch, very solid. I actually use it quite a lot for work when I need to time myself. It's pretty good. I mean, I'm not doing anything sport related, so just throw that out there. It's more so just efficiency, trying to time my speed of how fast I do certain things. But I mean, it works really, really well. It's very comfortable in the leather NATO. I'm a huge sucker for leather NATOs. Got tongue tied there. And yeah, it's a really good watch. It feels solid. Like, I have to say, this feels very, very solid. This is my first time having hands on the G-Shock. And I have to say that it's a lot better than most of the resin. Like, the resin is better quality. You can just feel the difference. It definitely feels more heft without it actually being heavy. It's kind of weird to explain it, but it just feels sturdy. And it's been a great buy. Been enjoying wearing it. It's definitely on my rotation more often than other watches. That being said, I still wear most of my other ones. And we're gonna move on to the next one. So yeah, not much to say. I feel like everyone has said a lot about the G-Shock Square. I mean, they're right. It's a great watch. If you were to have a one watch collection, I mean, I can't really disagree when they say this would be the best pick. All right, so moving on, take this off screen. And now bringing it in to Timex. So this is I'm sure it's in frame. It's in frame as it's supposed to be. I see my other videos. I know most of my stuff isn't in frame, but low budget. It is what it is. But point is, this is the Timex Waterbury chronograph, and it looks great. Like I said, bought it mostly for the looks. I love see if I can get it. I don't know if you guys can see it, it's a dome mineral crystal. I'm a sucker for dome crystals, and I thought that looked amazing. The QC is pretty good. I mean, secondhand, tiny seconds, you don't really notice it not missing some of the ones, so not that big of a deal. Chronograph feature, no one really ever uses chronographs, I feel like, but it's not bad. I wish the buttons had more play though. Like, I cannot feel when this has been activated. Like, this has more give. This, I feel like I have to really test it. There's no click, no satisfying click, which is unfortunate. I think my Casio chronograph is about the same as well. It's definitely not as good as my Casio aviator chronograph. It doesn't do the milliseconds or anything like that, but it's still good. It's mostly an aesthetic piece. And yeah, it's actually not a bad size. And this is like 38 millimeters, which is how it would look kind of on my wrist. Not terrible. Actually, I'm liking the smaller dimensions of this watch. The band is it's the Waterbury band that they have, that Timex uses for their Waterbury lines. It is very, very good. Like, it's my Expedition that I had, that leather band felt very rubbery, not very good. I swapped that out, obviously, but this feels substantial. So this is like, I would keep it on this one. It looks just great with the contrast of the blue, I'm gonna say, dial. I'm colorblind, so it looks blue to me. And yeah, I think the design looks great, very retro. I love the piston pushers. It has Indiglo as well, so there's no lume on any of the dials or hands, but you know, Indiglo, so who cares? The only thing I wish was, you know, better about this watch was if the dial indices actually weren't all just, you know, it's just drawn or painted on or something, whatever the hell. But it's not, like, there's no dimensions to it. It's not 3D. The only thing there that's like has dimension or gives it a, you know, a sense of there's more to it than it just being flat is the hands themselves. Other than that, it's a very appealing dial from afar, but when you get close to it, it's, you know, it is a budget watch, and you can tell. I mean, I think that this one, I think it goes for retail like 140-ish something dollars. I don't think it's worth that, but when I got it on Amazon, it was worth like $64. I say that's a better proposition. And yeah, I mean, it's very small, very nice case back too. It looks awesome. I haven't pried it back, only 50 meters of water resistance. But you know, you're not gonna take a chronograph diving. It's kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, this is just a very nice, fancy looking piece. It's one of my dressier watches when I want to, you know, stud around. Yeah, and the stainless steel, unlike the Timex, which is brass. Nothing wrong with brass, but this is, you know, standard stainless steel, so it'll occur scratches over time, but at least it's steel. All right, from here on out, it's pretty much the Casio show. And here we got, I don't know what this model is called. All I know is that it looks sci-fi and retro as hell, and I absolutely love it. And it's kind of hard to have it on the flat because the lugs just go straight down, and you know, I can't keep it flat forever. But this is like a mini Protrek. It's I don't know if you can probably see it on the phone very well. It is what it is, but the screen itself is a negative display, so it's pretty awesome. It has a litany of features. World time. My fiance currently uses my my world time from my previous video. She used it for work, fell in love with it, and I told her, you know what, you can have it. It's like, you know, it's a $20-something watch. Like, I'm not gonna lose my shit over it. But I was in the mood to get another world time watch, and then I was watching the channel The Urban Gentry. If you guys haven't seen that channel, that guy is much more professional than me, way better at this. I mean, I am like the lowest of the tier compared to that guy. Great stuff, awesome. Does history videos on watches, really awesome stuff. I really recommend that channel. It's called The Urban Gentry. But yeah, I found this watch on his on one of his videos, and I thought it looked amazing. It has, you know, I think the dual time is actually better because I can actually see the second time zone. So right here I have it on California time, and then I have it on Mexico time. And then if I change the mode, I have it on East Coast time because my work sometimes requires me to know when people are awake over there in the East Coast. And so yeah, I mean, it looks awesome. It's actually like feels more substantial than my old world timer, which, you know, you would hope. It looks big, but it's actually not that big. Let's see if I can get a good shot. You know, probably as good as it's gonna get, but it's not terribly big. The band is actually pretty supple. It's a pretty good band for what it is. I'm gonna keep it on this. It looks like it has little studs there. I don't know if those are actually purposeful, but they look cool as hell. It has a thermometer. I never use it. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can tell what cold is when you're outside. But it has a compass feature, which I think is tight. Definitely a good watch if you're gonna go out exploring. I don't know the accuracy of it all, but I'd say having a compass is better than no compass. You never know. Your phone might die, you know, shit happens, but you got this. And the light is actually very bright. Let me see if I can turn this off. And then, I don't know if you can see it, but it's very nice, very bright. And you can change, you know, how much like time that light stays on. There's a whole setting, but I don't want the battery to drain, so, you know, I don't use it as often. But yeah, it's a great watch. It looks retro. It, you know, the Urban Gentry guy said it best. It looks like it'd be on Aliens, you know, like with Sigourney Weaver. It looks awesome, and definitely aesthetically just very pleasing. It looks so cool. All right, last but not least, it is the Mission Impossible watch. And lo and behold, guess where I saw this one? Same guy, same channel, the Urban Gentry. And actually, let me show you a side by side with the G-Shock. They're actually very comparable in size. Like the thickness is actually pretty similar, and I didn't expect it to be like that. But this feels, this feels like the resin definitely feels better, feels more supple, but this is not far behind. I know this is like their budget G-Shock, but this is also not terrible. And it looks pretty awesome. It's all asymmetrical. I don't know about you, but I like asymmetrical stuff. I think it adds a little pizzazz. And the band is pretty good. Easy to swap out. This is, I think, a 19 millimeter length in between, so you can swap it out better than, you know, having to get adapters for this. But again, another good substitute if you want an all-one watch collection. This one or this one, they're both great do-it-alls. I would also say the wall timer that I just showed would be another great one, but these just feel like more substantial, I'd say. And you get the benefit of both being 200 meters of water resistant, so you don't really have to worry about like dropping it anywhere. This will be obviously much more durable because this actually has the, you know, multi-layer of G-Shock protection. This, I don't know what it really has, but the screen I think is more legible, and the ease of use with the button pushers is, you know, leagues better than that. This looks like you would be in like the army, like the Army Rangers kind of watch, and this would be like the Marines kind of watch, like the Navy SEALs. It feels like that way, like, you know, this is more rugged terrain. This feels more aquatic. And I know actually, again, from the channel that I watch, that this has actually been used underwater by like the NASA team of something. I am not good at history and or descriptions, so, you know, I'd say look at other people's videos on this watch. They probably have more collective knowledge. But yeah, so these are the 4 watches that I have recently purchased. They're both working great. I don't know if I can get them both in the shot. I'll give it a shot, but yeah, pretty stellar watches. Cannot get them all in the shot. Let's just do that. That looks awful, but we're gonna stick with it. And you know, it's been fun doing this. I'm probably not gonna be posting as much as I used to, because I mean, you know, I'm not gonna be buying new watches every time I need to make a video. These are watches I bought, you know, just for my own curiosity's sake. My watch box is full. I'm currently working on modding my watches, and I'm working on modding my Timex Expedition watch. So hopefully I'll make a video on how that goes out, if it works out as good as I want it to. And yeah, so we'll see you on the flip side.